Patrick Henry High School with ESP strike captain Dante. And Dante, can you explain to us why you are on the line today?
We're on the line for many different reasons. One of them being like a solid living wage. I'm a military veteran and I live in Minneapolis, and I've been living here by myself since 2014. And one of the hardest things that I've had to, or at least deal with, especially working for MPS, is the fact that I've had to do everything possible to maintain rent, to actually pay for rent, and having to go about an actual hustle. But one of the main reasons is making sure that the actual students that we're working with here at Henry and many other places within Minneapolis Public Schools is the fact that they have like a working classroom. And obviously during the pandemic, most of us are stressing. We've had a lot of mental stress. We've been stuck inside all this time. So our class sizes are just enormous. Sometimes there's a lot of people in there and they need a lot of attention and are not getting the attention they honestly deserve. Another thing that really gets to me is the fact of mental health. Not only mental health within our solid students, because they're bringing that trauma to the classroom, but the parents that are honestly involved, they're stressing to death because they themselves are working for a living wage and can't necessarily get that. So that is brought on to their kids bring it to the classroom, and that cycle continues. Another factor that we are honestly working for is the idea of retention of teachers of color. That's the one focus that we honestly want to make sure of those, especially those who really do get started, are not necessarily getting pushed back or even kicked out within their first year. We want to make sure that that seniority is honestly there and that it honestly continues, because the representation in the classroom should matter. It should matter, absolutely. And that's the one thing that we do not have a lot of in the classroom. Me personally, I would honestly go about actually being a teacher myself. But the unfortunate thing is, it takes a lot of money to even go right back to school. So that entire mentality does kind of mess with you quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So most of the people out here, bless their hearts and souls, they're pushing because they're honestly tired of everything that has been happening. And unfortunately, this has been happening for close to 20 years. The honest pushback of pay for Minneapolis educators, ESPs, staff, and especially those of us of color who have honestly had to endure a lot of BS. And I'm sorry if I had to say that on camera. I don't want to say that, but I'm just being real with you. To encounter all of that and just say, like, you know what? Be glad of the crumbs we give you. No. It doesn't work like that. We're still human beings, and if you want us to honestly be human beings in the classroom, we deserve to be paid like human beings, to actually being able to nurture and not say, like, you know what? We're low on pencils. We got to go out and actually buy pencils for these students. We want to give them field trips. We got to honestly save money for that. This at one point, MPS at one point was like the richest school district within the city. Now at this point, we have to literally fight each and every corner just to make something happen for the students that we work with. And we're getting more and more complaints from actual parents and students, and it annoys me. I don't know everybody else, but it annoys me. And it's that anxiety that really just irks a lot of us. And that's one of the reasons like why we're still consistently here today. And I swear to God, if Ed Graff doesn't get off his ass, once again, sorry for cussing, then that will actually kind of satisfy a lot of our needs. But I swear, it's that kind of fight that really does keep us alive, not only for the union members, but most importantly, us here at Henry that feel as if we have been wronged for so long. And we're tired of it, and it needs to end today.
I understand what you're saying. When we spoke earlier, you mentioned that this is a community.
Yes.
This is Patrick Henry community
Yes.
coming together, and that supporting teachers and asking for quality education for the students.
Sure.
You also mentioned that it would be really helpful to have community,
Yes.
parents, families able to understand the contract and able to see the negotiations. Can you explain more about why that's important?
And when they do negotiate or even talk about that contract, don't talk to people like your politician. Talk to them straight up, just like I'm talking to you. Then it has to be like clear, precise, honest. Because I swear there's been a lot of talk about what is actually missing in the contract, especially the retention of people of color, but more importantly, for those having that extension, if you're in seniority, to really continue working. That wasn't on the table. And we want to make sure that that's actually being implemented and just put in there before anything moves forward. But a lot of parents, they have no knowledge or say of that. more than anything, it's a matter of somebody who is a lot lighter than both of us kind of making the call for them. And that's the unfortunate part. They need to be in those rooms as well. There needs to be like an honest like town hall whenever there is a moment. What's going on? An honest town hall, or I'm sure some of them more at MFT59, where parents can actually come by and say, this is what needs to be in the contract. This is how you actually help our students. This is how you help our staff of color to really help move forward and help my babies really move forward in some way, shape, and form. Because obviously we have been pushed out for so long. It's like we do not have a voice. We do not have like any say. Parents obviously like need to be heard, especially in that. And that's what has been missing for some time.
Dante, thank you so much for talking to us today. Appreciate you.
I hear you.
Stay strong on the line, man.
God bless you. Stay focused, everybody.